Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine Michelle. I am Michelle. So before I get started with today's recipe, I first off want to give a slight apology here for not having any more recent regular length videos. I did post a couple of shorts recently, so please check those out if you didn't already. They are really tasty recipes. But for regular videos, I had actually made one, but there were a lot of problems. And after all, we ended up with part of the footage missing, and the recipe ended up not being something that I don't think I'll ever make it again. It was for macaron. It was a different type than what I had made before. But yeah, no. I'll just stick with the ones that my tried and true recipe, which again, you can also check out here on the channel. Then one last thing, I want to send a shout out to thank the people at Let's Celebrate TV channel here on YouTube. They featured me a couple weeks ago now. I wanted to get this out earlier and thank them, but I apologize that it has taken me this long to do that. They are very awesome to have featured me, and thank you to Linda B. Easy Cooking with Linda B. recommended me to them. So again, thank you to all of you out there that support me here on the channel. Really trying hard to get to that monetization. So if you like these videos, please be sure to subscribe and give it a like and all that stuff that you already know how to do. Anyway, let's get rolling. This is going to be a recipe for drop sugar cookies. This is a family recipe, and I'm actually going to try making half the recipe today. Normally I make the full thing, but that makes a lot of cookies, and I don't know why I've never tried halving it before. So here we go. Here in the mixing bowl, I've got 1/2 cup, which is 1 stick of unsalted butter. To that, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 1/2 cup of regular sugar, and 1/2 cup of canola oil, or you can use vegetable oil. As long as it's a neutral oil, you can probably use any neutral oil. And we're just going to get those mixing here till they're light and fluffy. Okay, so I've mixed this for a couple of minutes. I guess it's kind of light and fluffy. I mean, to me, it gets a little bit lighter in color, and I mean, it has air whipped into it, so it's a bit fluffy. And then what we're gonna do now is add in 1 egg. It's a large egg, but 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 1/4 teaspoon of lemon extract. And of course, we'll mix those in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, here in the sifter, I've already measured 240 grams of all-purpose flour. That's 2 cups. And we're going to be adding to that 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're going to sift that all together here into the bowl. Once you have all of that sifted into the bowl, you can add about 1/4 of it in here. And then we'll mix it and just keep adding 1/4 at a time until all of it's in. All right, so the next part, I'm actually just using 2 spoons to do this. So I spoon out a little bit of the dough like this. And I've already done a few just to make sure I was getting kind of the right amount there. And then spoon it onto your parchment-lined baking sheet. like that. Once you have the whole thing, I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate now. It's obviously not all the way done. I'm going to take just a little bit of the dough here to kind of get this started. That's what I usually do, but use a flat bottom measuring cup, or you can also use a glass, either way. But if you put just a little bit of that on there, there's just there's enough moisture in the dough and stuff. You can usually get it to kind of coat here. Sometimes it takes a couple of times doing this, but you want to get some of the sugar on here. Okay, I failed completely there. Let's try that again. All right, I'm going to try putting it down first, and then we'll get some more on there. And that should help. There we go. Once you get it going, then it's a lot easier. It just takes a couple times before you can get it going. But you want to get them pretty well coated with your sanding sugar. Okay, so once you have all of them ready, like I said, and I discovered I needed to use a slightly smaller measuring cup there. That helped a little bit too. Anyway, once you've got them all ready, you're going to heat your oven to 350 degrees, and you're going to want to bake these for 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so I've just pulled these out of the oven. I just want to show you that they will be a little bit puffy up top. You should see just a little bit of golden at your edges. You can leave them here on the cookie sheet to cool for just a moment before they should start to kind of deflate just a little bit, and then it'll be safe to transfer them to a cooling rack. Okay, so here we are at final plating, and you can see that I only made that half batch, so there aren't that many of them. And even though I know these are fabulous, I'm going to go ahead and try one here on camera because I just can't resist. So good. Excuse me. So one of the things about these is that they have this just kind of light airiness about them inside. I think they really make for a great cookie that's pretty addictive, really. Anyway, I hope you'll give them a try and that you'll enjoy them, and that we will see you next time for another episode of Cuisine de Michel. Please be sure to, I already told you to like and share it and all that stuff. You know the routine. Please be sure to leave a comment as well. I'd love to know if you do end up making these, or if you're going to, or if you just really like it or whatever. And we'll see you then. Au revoir.